What is up? I'm NYJohn, and we're here with the grand finals of the Canadian Dota 2 tournament brought to you by Dota2.ca. Thank you for joining me throughout the course of the day. And we have What Happened versus We Are No Dendi, and it has just been explained to me that this is actually the final game. Forget anything else I said. It has all come down to this. And here we are. We're already into things. And it looks like What Happened are going to go along the similar lines to what they did last time. They pick up Queen of Pain with their first pick, giving up Nyx Assassin and Keeper Light. But let's take a step back and go through everything else that happened before we talk about that. So, bans come out. What Happened take out Templar Assassin and Undying. Meanwhile, We Are No Dendi take out Magnus as well as Batrider. Fairly standard for what we've seen from the series. Then first pick comes out, Queen of Pain for What Happened. Partially must be to deny it from Nova, who has been doing really well other than last game where it was a little bit of a hiccup for him. Then the response is Nyx Assassin and Keeper Light. So two of the best supports in the game go right into the hands of Want. And then after that, What Happened take Visage and Skeleton King. Skeleton King working out very well for them last game. Visage working out even better for them last game. So we'll see what they can make of it in this final matchup. Lifestealer is going to be the third pick before we go to the second stage of banning for We Are No Dendi. So a solid carry that can operate pretty well against the heroes that he's facing right now. Queen of Pain, all magic damage. Visage, pretty much magic damage. Skeleton King, you know, he could dodge his stun with a rage as well. So pretty solid choice there to have a carry as a Nyx. And we're looking at a third ban for What Happened right now. We'll see what they're going to go with right now. It is a Tidehunter. So they want to take him out early on. I'm not sure. Tidehunter could go in the offlane, I suppose. That's going to be their focus. Offlaners and solos. Probably going to be what We Are No Dendi are looking for in their final picks. So not a bad idea to go ahead and take out what they can. What happens? Are looking for offlaners and a support, maybe a jungler. So they're going to take out Darkseer. Very reasonable ban here. Now we're back to the ban for What Happened, and let's see if they're going to continue. Windrunner is an option. Beastmaster, a hero that we haven't seen at all today. That's a very powerful hero. I'm surprised in the offlane. So there's a lot of options they can go for. Solos as well. They want to take out perhaps Tinker, perhaps Rubik, Invoker, a hero that we haven't seen at all either. He definitely, Invoker's one of those heroes that is always useful. It's a matter of finding a lineup where he's very powerful. So vast selection for What Happened here as they look for their fourth ban. I want to thank the one or two of you that have followed me on Twitter and Twitch. It's very kind of you, and I appreciate it greatly. I hope everyone has enjoyed the broadcast to this point so far today. And excited to get underway with these grand finals. And we're waiting on this ban. They're taking up a lot of their extra time. What Happened, that is, for their fourth ban. And once again, I want to take this opportunity to thank Dota2.ca for allowing me to cast today. It's been very enjoyable. And What Happened, they're going to take out Lone Druid. So finally, we will get a game without a Lone Druid in the mix. And I'll try and mask my excitement. But Lone Druid, while he is exciting at times, for the most part, a very straightforward and somewhat bland hero to watch, to put it bluntly. Windrunner is going to be banned out by Want, so they don't want to have to try and deal with that again. Fangirl played a very effective Windrunner in the last game. Now What Happened, looking for their fifth and final ban. Tide. Lone Druid. What are they going to round it up with? Makes you wonder if there's any solos in particular they worry about putting Queen of Pain up against. I can't imagine. Queen of Pain matches up fairly well against everyone that is left in the pool. They're going to dip into their reserve time to figure out what this final ban is going to be. They have 35 seconds left to do so. And this is a very crucial ban, of course. Mm. 14 seconds left. So they're taking a big amount of time to sit on this. And they take out Juggernaut. A very interesting choice. I would not believe they were going to use a Juggernaut at all. Huh. Very interesting choice there. That is, well, they've baffled me, and that's not too hard to do, but nonetheless, they've done it. Now the final ban got to come out here from Want. Who do they want to take out? They might go for another offlaner. I mean, both teams kind of need offlaners, so it's tough. They're going to take out Enigma. A very solid ban. Now, what happened with their fourth pick? Beastmaster's a good choice. I mean, a lot of players and teams are a little bit more reluctant to use him, but he works very well against a hero like Lifestealer that has the rage. You can focus him with the roar and chain down your damage. I like the Beastmaster in the offlane. They could also go for one of the junglers as their secondary support, unless they want to run an aggressive tri-lane, which is another possibility. We've seen a lot of aggressive tri-lanes throughout the day today. It's going to be Phantom Lancer. So a hero that's been banned out a couple times gets selected up as a carry hero here for what happened. Phantom Lancer is actually a very fun hero to watch once you get past the farming stage of the game. So I'm relatively happy with that selection. Now we are now Denny with our fourth hero pick. Nyx Assassin, Keeper Light, Lifestealer. What are they going to add to the mix here?
10 seconds remaining.
I'm curious to see if they're going to try and treat this the same way that What Happened did against them, where Queen of Pain was, you know, targeted with some of their picks directly. They pick some extra disables just so they can really take down Queen of Pain and thwart her aggression. So maybe another disable here, a hard disable, you know, Sven still in the pool, but they already have Lifestealer. So, I mean, I'm not sure who you could put middle with hard disables. Or Rubik, solo middle. They could go for Beastmaster in the offlane as well. They're going to take their time with this pick, dipping down to their reserve time. 37 seconds, so not the fastest draft we've ever seen, but that's no problem. Building up anticipation for the grand finals on the Dota 2 Canadian tournament. I'd like to give a shout out to Hero, who's the reason why I'm casting this. He let me know that there was a tournament and that I should check it out. And Dota2.ca for letting me cast, of course. Sven's going to be picked up, so I mentioned it. I didn't think they would actually do it. They double back and actually do it. And for some reason, this makes me want to think they're going to run 2-2-1, a couple dual lanes and a solo. But Nyx could be in the jungle as well. The question is, if it sets up and it looks like a Nyx jungle and smells like a Nyx jungle, they're going to block a lot of camps. And he could have a tough time there, I believe. Maybe even run a tri-lane against him because they already have Visage and Skeleton King. And Shadow Demon now is going to be added to the back end of it. So Shadow Demon, a support hero that works very well against both Lifestealer and Sven. However, there's no long laner on this team now. So that means they're going to run an aggressive tri-lane, Shadow Demon, Skeleton King, Visage in the bottom lane since they are the dire team. And Phantom Lancer is going to be top solo. Queen of Pain is going to be in the middle. And now Shadow Fiend is going to be in the middle lane against Queen of Pain, which is a lopsided matchup. And Lifestealer may try and solo bottom against the tri-lane, and then Sven, Nyx, and Keeper Light are going to go top as aggressive tri-lane. So this is going to work out pretty interestingly, needless to say, as we do wrap up the finals in this last game. Winner takes all. We're about to get going. We are no Denny versus what happened. Players selecting up their heroes. We're about to be live. And here we go. So, for the Dire team, we have what happened. Baroth on Shadow Demon, Richard on Visage, Skeleton King being played by Frosting Cake, Slow Queen playing this Phantom Lancer, and John the Ninja playing Queen of Pain. Meanwhile, for the Radiant team, Team Wand, we have Nova on Shadow Fiend, Miso Soup on Sven, Liquidity on Nyx, Wince on Keeper Light for what must be the 4th or 5th game in a row, and 007 on Lifestealer. And they're going to anticipate the aggressive trial lane, throw solo Nyx up top, knowing that he's going to be up against the solo Phantom Lancer. Very interesting moves. You can see the chess game sort of panning out in front of you right now. And that is going to be, I believe, a problem for what happens, because now this tri-lane in a safe lane is going to be so powerful. Illuminate's blasting off, whole lot of damage to be had. I don't think this is the matchup that the Dire are looking for, and they may have to adjust sooner than later. We'll see exactly how it works out as we get into things. Phantom Lancer looking for that early soul ring, of course, so he can spam off, and they're going to run into the enemy team here. Wince throws down a ward. It will spot off the Dire team as they're chasing them down. Their ward is actually placed by the Radiant ward, so if they want to try and counter, they can do so early in this game. And they'll retreat back to the lane, actually wrap a little bit, maybe try and catch them out still. And this is awkward. There's a couple more disables, or one more disable on the Radiant team. Richard just keeps chasing them back. And now the bottom lane is left alone. The creeps are here, and there's no one to do anything about it. And the whole team is going to dive Shadow Demon, or Shadow Fiend, on the middle. And he doesn't know what to do. And in fact, Skeleton King's leading the way. We're going to have a 4v4 battle in the middle lane. Nova has to back up. Skeleton King takes a lot of damage. And that's that. It's over. The dive attempt is crushed. And a whole lot of time is wasted. Look at this. There's like 3 CS missed on both sides. Sven comes in and is able to whiff at one, but that's about it. And now Skeleton King is going to get caught off here by Liquidity and Wince, but actually he gets a stun on Wince before Wince could use an Illuminate. And they're going to back up peacefully. No one on this Dire side of the tri-lane has any experience except for one last hit from Skeleton King they stole from middle. Now they rejoin the bottom lane. And Illuminate's just going to fly, and it will push the lane. But look at this. They're already jumping on top of Frosting Cake. Chain up the stun. The first blood's going to fly out in a moment here. It goes down to Sven. And this is what I'm talking about. This lane is just going to favor the Radiant. They're going to have to adjust. And Baroth is backing up carefully. Frosting Cake buys a TP, comes back in instantly. Let's bring up our last hits and denies. See how top is going. Top lane, 4 for 3 on PL against 7 for 3 on Nyx. So Nyx having a good time up here. Meanwhile, middle lane, Shadow Fiend able to solo kill Queen of Pain. And he dropped down to what must have been around 12 life. Wow. Well played by Nova, and I'm ashamed to have missed that, but huge play there. They're coming in to try and counter ward this. And of course this ward blocks 2 camps, but one of the easiest wards to counter as well. So it's give and take with it. Level 1 heroes chasing down a couple level 1 heroes. Not much else going on. Level 2 on Skeleton King. He picks up stats, as we see pretty often when people play Skeleton King early on. Miso Soup going to chase down Richard, get some nice harassment hits on him. Slow Queen, almost 500 gold, so getting closer to finishing off that soul ring, which will be really nice to provide some extra harassment onto the Lifestealer. And bottom lane is just getting really awkward. Baroth uses Disruption onto Miso Soup, just purely so he can pass by. Stun flies out from Liquidity. He actually pops off his carapace and will stun Richard, but nothing further will ensue down here. Middle lane, we see John the Ninja going 2 levels in Shadow Strike. So this is an old school build. People used to favor more than the newer build where you only get 1 level in it and then focus on Scream. 2 levels gives an extra slow duration as well as some extra damage, so it has some utility, and you can see why he would do it against a Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend, however, has 20 stacks, so now he's sitting for 94 damage. We do see Shadow Demon is going to rotate in towards the middle lane. It's spotted off by a rune, or ward rather. Has to be a little bit careful as he walks in towards Shadow Fiend, because 2 raises would pretty much do him in. As level 5, those level 3 raises deal a whole lot of damage. Top lane, though, we see Slow Queen taking some more harass damage from Lifestealer. There's an illusion rune going to be picked up by Queen of Pain, so good for her to get some extra regen. And Queen of Pain 9 for 3 against 17 for 3, so struggling in the middle lane. It's going to be a problem moving forward. I mean, if Shadow Fiend could win this lane without the need of a support presence, that's a huge victory for the Radiant team. But that being said, it's very early, and John the Ninja is going to have plenty of opportunities to try and bring this one back into his favor. Top lane, we see a full roam, so Shadow Demon is actually going to go all the way to top. Lifestealer there, Slow Queen there as well. We see Disruption going to be used up onto him. He has Rage, so not too concerned. He doesn't have much damage to output on him anyway. So bottom lane is now down to 2 heroes. So perhaps an opportunity for the Radiant to try and take advantage, pick up a couple more kills down here. They're already winning 2-0 in terms of the kill advantage. We see 007's putting some damage on Phantom Lancer, uses the open wounds, pops off the Rage, and now Invis is popped by Phantom Lancer, so he'll be just fine. Phantom Lancer has enough gold for his Soul Ring. He's going to actually have to use the Courier to bring it out. Nope, he buys Boots and half of the Soul Ring. Now a dive on bottom. Liquidity under the tower. Richard actually putting some auto attack damage onto Wince. And Frost and Cake is just barely going to survive that assault as well.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And Liquidity is going to retreat out from the side. So I like this response a little bit. I mean, now they're at least allowing some more opportunity to farm for Phantom Lancer. I mean, Nyx isn't going to be too scared of this combination. But in the same regard, Phantom Lancer doesn't have the real threat of being killed since there is disruption available. On the bottom lane, though, Skeleton King is going to be focused down here. He takes an Illuminate. It's a good amount of damage. Stun flies off from Nyx Assassin. He does have enough Wand 6 to keep him alive for a moment, and the stun under the tower is enough to take down Sven with the turnaround. And now Richard's going to go ahead and just pile up the auto attack damage onto Nyx, but he needs to back up as mana is granted. Ends up being a 1-for-1 trade in what never should have been. Well-timed stick charges from Skeleton King, and they end up taking down Sven there. So well played. Bravo to SK, turning around and manning up on that stun. And Frost and Cake going to make his way back into the lane proudly. They do have a lane ward up here. It's been here for a while. So just a side note. John the Ninja in the middle lane, though, has 500 gold in the bank against Shadow Fiend, who has 1,000 gold in the bank. So Nova really decisively winning this lane, 31 for 7 against 19 for 9. A huge advantage. And I mean, it's hard to quantify because Shadow Fiend, now that he has the raise damage, look at that, just instantly takes down Queen of Pain. And that is a misplay by Queen of Pain to let him get that close. And, poof, Nova has proven he is a very talented player with his play on Queen of Pain, and now doing the same on his Shadow Fiend play. Now 007 is just going to charge onto Slow Queen.
Dire's middle tower
There's a TP in bottom, and Queen of Pain's going to look elsewhere to try and get things going. Should come down here. There's the jump, and now Sven's going to get hit by a Scream. Do they have enough damage to take him down? Yes, they do. He doesn't even use the stun. John the Ninja's, they're going to look to see if anyone's hidden in these bushes over here, but they aren't. I'm going to get some extra mana. And he has to head back towards the middle, even if he is losing that effort.
Dire's middle tower.
So 4-2 now is a kill score. top lane. We still see Nikes doing a good job of managing himself up here in a solo, which is very impressive. Helm of Iron Will is up on him. He'll be working towards that armlet soon. Slow Queen in terms of the CS, 17 for 5 against Nikes, who is 43 for 16. Oh boy. Wand are just, I mean, they're just winning. And now John the Ninja's going to come towards the top lane and try and create a gank opportunity on this Nikes. It's not going to be all too easy, though. Stun flies off in the bottom, though. Stormhammer on top of Frost and Cake. They chain off a stun, but they don't have enough mana on Liquidity, so Frost and Cake will live. Meanwhile, top lane, it's going to be a TP out from Nikes. They don't have a stun to interrupt it. And as such, he'll be able to make it out safely. Middle lane. Nova does now have a Hand of Midas, so opting to pick that up. A really big pickup. And all the farm is going the way, as we see 3 top CSers are all on the Radiant side. He's already taken down a tower. He's got plenty of farm and a couple of kills. John the Ninja is now going to rotate in towards the middle lane. And what happened? Have to start to get a grasp on this game, otherwise it's going to quickly fall out of their reach. And we see Coddle's actually rotating in here. Going to give some mana to Nova, and Nova's going to be able to farm up the jungle really easily. Slow Queen left to solo that top lane now. As a rotation from the supports. Actually, they're coming back in. So they'll try and do it again. Put a gank onto Lifestealer. He has another TP, so I cannot see an instance where he does not just do the same thing and TP's out. Well, they'll try. I think they're spotted off, yeah. So this time, Disruption will lead off. And they'll just actually casually walk back to his tower. Doesn't even pop the Rage. They're very confident. He can jump into a creep, regain most of his health. So that didn't work out very well. Bottom lane, they do jump on top of Sven. Sven gets slowed off by the Visage. Frost and Cake has another stun in 1 more second. It's going to fly in a moment here. TP is coming in to support him, though, and Sven with that extra armor is tough to take down. They do finish him off, however. Keeper Light coming in from the backside. Skeleton King may drop for the first time here. Richard's going to stay in the middle of the fray, just try and deal some extra damage while Skeleton King reforms, comes back in, and down goes Visage. Now stun flies on top of Lifestealer. Lifestealer is going to be taking a good amount of damage, however, from the back end. Nova comes in. He's able to take down Visage. And now 007 is going to try and focus on Skeleton King, who's going to try and TP out, and he'll be able to do so safely, as neither of those heroes have a disable to throw his way. Looks like they want stacking to come out from Nyx Assassin, and it will. So now Nova's going to try and help them push this bottom lane. He already has 1,800 more gold in the bank. It's just phenomenal farm levels. He's 67 for 9 in terms of CS at 11 minutes. That's really strong. And then has that Midas as well, and 3 kills. This tower's dropping really quickly. Illuminate flies off, takes the Shadow Demon down to half health. Skeleton King drops pretty low as well. Nikes goes right on top of him. It's going to be enough to take him down 1 more hit. Down goes SK. And the tower goes to Keeper Light as well. PL, meanwhile, in the top lane has 900 gold in the bank. Just spamming off on Sven. Sven's going to have a tougher time standing up against PL than Nikes did for certain. And now Nova has spent his gold. Is it Boots of Travel? I want to guess it's Boots of Travel. It's Boots of Travel. And his farm is going to go through the roof with these. I mean, this is a build we've seen time and time again where Boots of Travel just allows him to be anywhere and everywhere, pushing lanes like no other with those raises. And he's going to get a regen run on the top as well. So things just going the way of Nova right now on his Shadow Fiend. Top lane, they're going to jump on top of Slow Queen. Actually, Sonic Wave pops off from the back end. Slow Queen turns around, gets a kill on top of Sven. And now Nikes is going to try and focus onto John the Ninja, but in from the side comes Frosting Cake, uses a stun off, and it's going to be enough damage. Is there support coming in? It looks like from the river we have Nyx coming into the mix, and that rhymes, but I didn't mean it. Lifestealer pretty low. He pops off the Rage. John the Ninja, no mana to come in, and he gets drained even further. And now Frosty Cake's going to stun onto Nyx Assassin, but he gets the reverse stun from the Carapace. And it looks like everyone will survive. So, a 1-for-1 trade. PL for Sven. Not ideal for either team, but it is what it is. Richard going to opt to get some farm on the bottom lane here. He's not doing nearly as well as he did last game. Still 4-for-1. Good in terms of picking up those kills, but He really could use, oh, they're going to actually go on top of Nova. Nova's going to man up, turn around, pop off the ultimate, and try and take them both down. Slow Queen's going to jump in there. The raise is not going to hit on the hero. It's going to only hit, oh, and down he goes. Huge damage from that soul assumption, and the Creep's trying to finish off Richard. But won't be able to do so. So Nova trying to man up there, just didn't quite pan out. And picking up a really useful kill. I have spoken as if there's a huge lead in this game, and for certain there is, but if we do look at the hero, because it's only 8-6 in advantage, 3 tower advantage as well, but it's not insurmountable at this stage of the game. And tower drops tier 1 top lane. Nyx rather, already has his armlet finished. We have a pause coming out. Arcane boots on Nyx. Keeper has his headdress. He's pretty close to finishing up his entire mech as well, about 600 gold away or so. $1,400 gold in the mech for Slow Queen. And during this pause, let me take an opportunity once again to thank everybody. I'm NYJohn. This is the Canadian Dota 2 Tournament Grand Finals brought to you by Dota2.ca. Thank you for everyone involved, the organizers, for letting me cast. And I hope all the fans and viewers have had a good time today. We have WAND versus What's Happened. And this is the very last game. Right now, it looks like WAND have a pretty good lead on the back end of strong play from Nova. However, what happened, not out of it by any stretch. Phantom Lancer's farm is going to be one of the pivotal items for them. He's at 1,400 gold. He's going to need to get that up there to work on that Radiance, perhaps even work on the Diffusal, whatever he chooses and deems the necessary item choice. Perhaps Shadow Fiend taking a little bit of a risky investment, purchasing up those Boots of Travel instead of going for something along the lines of his BKB. But you live and die by your own decisions. And so far, he's been really doing well. You can see he's leading the way in terms of CS, 87 for 11. Nyx is second, 54 for 16. This was a solo long lane Nyx, matched up well against Phantom Lancer, and made the most of it. If you haven't already, be sure to follow me on Twitter at NYJohnTV. Follow me here on Twitch. This is my channel. I think you just have to hit a follow button. And VODs from all the games today will be available on YouTube. www.youtube.com/NYJohnTV. Shout out to everyone that's done those things. I appreciate it. And it's really important for a caster of my stature to get as decent a following as I can amount. So I appreciate all the kind words. Any feedback, you can email me. Let me know what you thought of my cast, if I need any work or if it was good. NYJohnTV@gmail.com. And hopefully you're all enjoying your Sunday afternoon. We've got a couple of Canadian teams going at it. I think someone in chat said it's pretty much an all Toronto affair. So pretty exciting game thus far. A pretty exciting series. A bit surprised about how close the games have been. I mean, a couple teams got blown out, but you know, there's still been fairly close efforts, and I think they've done a good job organizing this tournament, finding the teams to play in it, and the teams have done a good job of representing themselves. So hopefully this pause ends soon so we can get back into the action. So let's take a minute to look at what's going on across the map. So my primary concern right now is that what happens, we're falling far behind in terms of the farm. We can see this on the last hits in the eye chart. 87 for 11 on Shadow Fiend. Of course, he's going to get his last hits. He's going to get a lot of them. The problem is they have to put a lot of pressure on him to try and get the kills. Meanwhile, 54 for 16 on Nikes. This is really like a added bonus for the Radiant team. I don't believe they thought he would do that well, but he's exceeded that of Phantom Lancer. He's exceeded that of the solo middle in Queen of Pain, and that of the Skeleton King, who had a decent time down bottom. So, Nikes is in a really prominent position. Already has an arm lit up, can work towards the next item, start getting really strong. We can see 7,500 gold in advantage at 14 minutes. It's a pretty distinct advantage, and that's partially due to the CS, but largely due to the 3 tower kill advantage that they have accumulated as well. No towers have gone down for the Radiant side, which is something to definitely hang your hat on. Middle has taken some pressure. It's down to around half, but still not getting enough pressure offensively to capitalize and take down any of those towers. This is just about 820 gold away from finishing off his mech, which would be a nice point for him. The Phantom Lancer we mentioned a couple times at 1,400 gold. At this stage of the game, where they stand, I think it would be a better decision for him to go for perhaps a defusal. I just think he's not going to really get the opportunity to finish up a Radiance in a timely fashion. I mean that's what I'm thinking right now. Queen of Pain has treads, bottle, a wand, and 450 gold in the bank. So really struggling in the farm department as well. It's 14 minutes, and that's not what you'd expect on your solo middle Queen of Pain. So she's going to have to find some kills to really spark her farm. 0-2 and 2 right now. Hasn't been able to convert on any of those kills quite yet. And that's where we stand in the game. I mean, not too much more. I can't really draw out any more thoughts throughout this pause. And my speculation will get a little bit crazy. But I like what Wander doing. What's happened? They have a long road ahead of them, but it's still possible. It's within reach. And who knows what's going to happen, because apparently 007 has disappeared. And he had an emergency or something, so we're waiting to hear word from him. Maybe someone can call him, check up on him. But if it is a real emergency, then of course that will take priority over this game. And I suppose there's nothing more to talk about, so I'll rest my voice for a little bit, and we'll see if we get back into it. Okay, it looks like he's actually back. So, we're going to get back into it. Uh, okay, it looks like we're ready to go. Okay, after a nice long wait, we can try and figure out where we are once again. John and Ninja's farming on the top lane. He's looking, trying to bolster or actually establish some item in his inventory. I mean, you'd think with a poor start like that, he has to try and work towards a sheep as his first item, just because if he doesn't try and go for it now, he may never get it. He's in the lane. He has to watch out for Liquidity here. Liquicity's going to open on him. It takes a lot of damage. Stun comes in. Stormhammer's left to finish him. Miso super the kill there. Now in the jungle, meanwhile, we see 007's going to be focused down by Richard. He pops off the rage. It's enough to keep him alive for a moment. Richard waiting to use the Soul Assumption on him. It's going to deal a whole lot of damage, but instead, Frosty Kick's going to be taken down. Now Soul Assumption flies. It almost takes him down. John the Ninja with a Sonic Wave will finish off. Nice. Sven does have God Strength active, and he's going to focus on top of Queen of Pain, and she goes down. And now Liquidity is going to get a stun on top of Barath. One raise plus an auto attack is enough to finish him off as well. 3 heroes down for the Dire, 1 hero down for the Radiant. It was one important hero, but definitely still a lopsided trade in favor of the Radiant. Meanwhile, bottom lane, we do have Slowking continue to farming, getting around that 2,000 gold mark, but they're going to lose a tier 2 up here. She can try and apply some pressure on this bottom tower, but it's still full health, so it's going to be a long way before she can actually take it down. Middle lane, Visage trying to continue to farm. Well, he didn't die in that exchange, so that's one of the positive things coming out from it. I mean, Queen of Pain had to blink in aggressively to ensure the kill. Actually, disruption on the top lane. Frosting Kick's going to come in here. Nova's actually going to drop. So a little bit of a overstaying his welcome coming out from Nova, and he pays for it with a nice little kill. That's going to be a hefty amount of gold for somebody. Last hit goes to Skeleton King, so he's got to be pretty happy and satisfied with that. He's looking for another urn, but this is going to be a late urn. Bottom lane, the tower does get whittled down pretty quickly, assume on the back end of a illusion army. And now Phantom Lancer is going to opt for Diffusal, so picking up 2 of those Blade Alacrities, and you can definitely respect that choice. As I mentioned before, I believe it's the better option at this stage of the game. Tower is getting worked down. It's down to around 268 health. Nobody seems to be coming down here or concerned with the actions of PL, as we do have a freeze. I hope that wasn't me. It was server, I believe. And now it looks like PL's going to be able to take down this tower. And it's pretty easily. Looks like Nova's actually going to come down here, try and contest it. He's going to pop off an ultimate, but cancel it because it wouldn't have done anything, as Slow Queen had already gone invis and retreated. And Richard is in the middle lane, still waiting in the same position to try and find somebody out. Skeleton King, sitting at 800 gold in the bank. He just needs enough farm to stay alive in some of these team fights. He doesn't have much health right here. Illuminate's going to fly off as well. Liquidity is going to have ultimate up in 7 seconds, so they can try and look for an opening if they would like. Bottom lane, Nova's by his lonesome once again. They're going to jump out here and in fact hit him with both Demonic Purge as well as, oh, but he's going to throw down an ultimate of his own. The Requiem of Souls, but he gets double stunned off, and it's a disruption. It's going to be enough to finish off Nova. Down he goes. So the whole Dire team converging there. Shadow Fiend instantly buys back. That's going to slow down his BKB a little bit. So very positive outcome for the Dire team there. Shout out to Feed Dex. And now Wint in the middle lane is going to retreat. John the Ninja does now have a point booster, so working towards an Aghanims. Not listening to my slight criticism that perhaps he should go for Scythe the Vice strictly because the farm is not going to be there, or at least hasn't been there thus far, so it's less likely to be there moving forward. Nova makes his way to the top lane, continuing to farm. His Midas will be available in 5 more seconds. And he really needs this BKB. He's going to TP back to the bottom, continue. Nyx is actually down here. And his farm has slowed down a little bit since the get-go. He's at 1,700 gold now. It's still very substantial, but obviously they're letting Nova, as we can see him take away most of the farm from Nyx there, letting him get the lion's share of the farm, as it is necessary to keep a Shadow Fiend alive. We've seen him drop a couple times already to gank attempts, 3 deaths on him. And now he can actually afford his BKB, so that's going to be flown out to him. The recipe was the last component, and it will be out to him in a moment. Skeleton King picks up a Helm of Iron Will, so he's working towards another armlet, which makes a lot of sense. It's a very cost-effective item, so if you're behind, ahead, in all situations, it's a pretty good option for a hero that can make the most out of it. See some warding, sentry warding coming out from Bareth on the high ground. He's a little nervous to poke his head down, but now his team's down there, so he should feel a little bit more comfortable. Throw down a sentry, maybe get rid of this ward. They spot it off, and they'll take it down. So try and get some more map control. I'm in the deficit they're in terms of tower kills. It's very difficult to assert yourself around the map, and wards are one way to try and kind of reestablish that. And that's one step in the right direction for what happens. And Courier's delivering what I believe is going to be a mech to Richard. Maybe. Or maybe I'm entirely off base. Yep, so he didn't have enough gold for that. He's still working on it. On top lane, we do see Nova farming up here. It's going to be much more difficult to gank now, of course, now that he has that BKB fully completed. And as such, they're going to be less likely to try and focus all their resources on strictly taking down Nova, which they have been doing in the recent past. So smoke into the middle lane, and they're going to try and get this going in a big way. Miso Soup leading the way, but he's actually reluctant to jump in. Rage popped off by 007. He's going to go ahead and attack some of the gargoyles, but not enough damage to finish them off as they fly above the trees there. So they'll be just fine. Now the tier 2 on the middle is going to be the next target. It's down around half health already, so it shouldn't take too much effort to take down. Illuminate will fly off, keep the heroes out of range of it pretty easily. Sven's working towards his own BKB. He's about 1,100 gold away from finishing that off. That'll be another nice little pickup if he can acquire that in a timely fashion. Rich is going to have to retreat to the top lane because he's being pursued by Sven as well as Nyx. And there goes the second to last. Only one outer base tower left for the Dire team. Well, 400 gold till Sven has that BKB, but maybe not, as he gets jumped on here. Stun comes out from Nyx trying to save his teammate. Miso Soup's taking a good amount of damage. A couple more hits would do the job, but instead they turn this around. Skeleton King's going to drop it. He has ultimate up. This is able to finish off Sven, and now back comes Skeleton King. Ultimate pops off from Nova. They turn around. They're going to be able to take down Skeleton King for the second time. He's dead for real now, and it is a 2-for-1 trade. Sven for Skeleton King and Shadow Demon, and now perhaps an opportunity to try and break the final barrier, get into this base. Slow Queen is going to get hit by an open wound and a huge Illuminate, enough to take him down. It's unfortunate, but that chained off pretty easily there. He does have his defusal finished, and that's one of the primary concerns for any Phantom Lancer, is that you require a ton of farm just to survive in any fights. I mean, his health pool is so small. He's not an innately tanky hero. Nova's going to TP down to the bottom lane, steal the farm right from Sven, who was so eager to go ahead and get that. But instead, nope, rejected. It goes to Nova, and Nova is doing a brilliant job of farming. It's 163 over 17. He's top in farming in the game in terms of CS by a long shot, and I'm sure in net worth that shows as well. 12,000 gold net worth. Next closest to 7,500 is teammate Nyx. Now Frost and Cake still trying to work towards his armlet. Queen of Pain picks up another component towards that Aghanims. Recipe of mech finished, so 500 gold till mech is up on Richard. Shadow Demon, 250 gold in his bank account, still doing the full support duties. And Slow Queen, as we mentioned, already has up that defusal. 1,200 gold in the bank, probably going to look towards an item to make her more tanky. I mean, really, even an BKB, an item you don't get that often on Phantom Lancer, could be useful at this stage of the game, just to block the Requiem of Souls, all the disables coming out. Usually you'd say go for a heart, but is there enough time for it to even complete up a heart? Not entirely sure. Nova does pick up a Yasha now as well, with 1,300 more gold in the bank on the back end of it. I continue to farm at a huge rate. I'm sure if we go to gold per minute, it will show us that, yeah, almost 600 gold per minute. So he is absolutely rolling right now. Middle lane, we see a gank attempt on Sven, hit by the Demonic Purge. Do they have enough damage to take him down? He gets force-stabbed backwards by his Nyx teammate. Now they'll drain the mana from Queen of Pain, actually throw out a Stormhammer on her as well. Isn't enough damage to take her down. Chakra will be enough to drain the remainder of her mana, has enough for one more blink, but gets hit by Liquidity from the ultimate. And now it looks like Nova's able to finish off Shadow Demon pretty easily as well. So 2 heroes down. They're going to march on towards the base and try and finish this one off. Nova going to purchase up. Nope, he went to the secret shop to sell something. And this tower, still pretty healthy. There's a glyph available as well. Glyph pops right off the bat. A couple heroes in the area. Skeleton King's just going to charge in. He doesn't have ultimate available, so it's risky. And they do have the Nyx Assassin to drain his mana as well. Nyx taking a good amount of damage there. Blocks some as Richard gets stunned by the Spike Carapace. And they're going to relent. They'll back up a little bit. Nova go back to the bottom, continue to farm well. He's very close to finishing up that Manta in its entirety, which will be another nice acquisition for him. Top lane's being pushed pretty hard. There's a good amount of creeps there. Illusion of Phantom Lancer trying to scare them into TPing someone back maybe. Tower's pretty low. It's at 186. This catapult might actually take it to deny range. Nyx Assassin should let the catapult get a couple more shots. And yeah, it's in deny range now, so very deniable tower. Maelstrom picked up by Lifestealer. Let's head over to him. So another nice item progression for him. Wentz in the middle lane, just trying to take down some of the illusions pushing out from Phantom Lancer. And he does have his mech completed. It's going for a Force Staff. We'll have that in about 200 gold or so. Nova now completed his Manta. And, I mean, this has to be a stage of the game where the Radiant just feels so comfortable. I mean, they're ahead by, if we check out the graphs, 14,000 gold, over 7,500 experience, and it's on the key heroes. And that's the most important part. Anytime you're ahead in gold, you want it to be on those carries, and it's on Nyx as well as especially Nova on his Shadow Fiends. And his Shadow Fiend is just looking so formidable right now. To give a lot of credit to his play this game. Queen of Pain versus Shadow Fiend, a matchup middle that I thought perhaps, you know, Queen of Pain could have got the better of, but maybe a couple missteps just proved too costly as Nova able to take down Queen of Pain twice in lane, and it resulted in kind of a snowball effect, if you will, where Nova was able to just use that as a launching pad for his success. 4 heroes in the jungle for the Dire. This is pretty much all the farm they're able to get across the map. Let's go for a tier 2 down here on the bottom lane. It should be relatively free. It's down to 3/4 health. Start working on it now. And chipping it down. 1,200 more gold. Shadowfiend is just gaining so much money. It's preposterous. This tower's already down below half, and it will be free. Having a coddle to refresh his mana with the raises is really convenient as well. Unless it goes to the Radiant, and they're going to back off and look for, looks like Roshan.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And working on Roche. Looks like Phantom Lancer's pushing out the top lane a little bit, doing what she can, which isn't too much. It looks like she also spent some money, so we're going to have an Eagle Song maybe coming out to her. Maybe going for a Butterfly would be a pretty interesting option for PL at this stage of the game. Still working on the tower. Nova TP's in. Goes on top of Slow Queen, but Slow Queen actually maybe able to take him down. I'm not sure he'll be able to finish off the tower, though. And now Slow Queen needs to watch out for the raises. A little bit of a miscue. Should have used the long raise first and then go for an auto. Nova gets the deny, though, and that's all that really matters. Continues to farm 2,200 gold in the bank, and it looks like the Dota 2 Canadian tournament may be starting to get wrapped up. Wand may be our champions. Coming from the losers bracket, running it back. Slow Queen gets caught off here. God strength enough to take her down. Gem on Sven. And Liquidity is in the area as well, so 4 heroes up here from the Radiant team, and now they're going to run into John the Ninja as well. I'm pretty sure I called him like 4 different names, so apologies, but it happens. Nick's thinking about opening, wants to open, but John timely backup. Frosting Cake in the middle lane is far from home. He's going to try and TP out of here, and we'll be able to do so pretty easily. 2,700 gold on Nova. Now, it's like a countdown to the end. Nova is just farming so exceptionally well that every time he picks up another item, it gets further and further out of grasp for what happened. Now they're thinking about pushing the middle lane. The tower has taken a good amount of damage, so middle lane is probably their better option out of the two. Misu Soup in here with his BKB. 007 now joins the party. Tower's down to 500 health.
Radiant's bottom tower is being subjected to extreme violence.
And Richard's going to off push. So Richard's in the bottom lane trying to apply some pressure to this tower by himself.
Radiant's bottom tower is
We also have a couple of heroes rotating towards the top to fend off the push up here. Try and send the momentum back towards the Radiant team.
bottom tower is under attack.
Now Nova continues to farm so well. Picks up an Eagle song, so he'll be going towards a butterfly of his own. Now they're just going to all in, jump into the base, try and finish off this tower. Chakra Drain comes out on Bareth. Bareth forces himself back towards the base. A huge Sonic Wave pops off and hits a lot of heroes. Nova going to pop out the BKB, and in the middle, the Requiem of Souls! To end all Requiem of Souls. It's enough to take down John the Ninja right off the bat. Frosting Cake's trying to retreat here, but another auto tech will do the job. He pops off the timely armlet, and he'll barely survive there. And the Rax goes down. GG may come out momentarily here. Wand have just taken this game by the reins. They're going to rotate towards the top, try and take down another tower here. Has Godstrength been used? Yeah, it was used already. That's right, in the last gank attempt, so it's still down for 50 seconds or so. And this tower is dropping pretty quickly. And needless to say, as Lifestealer does finish off his full Mjolnir, and the tower goes down. They're going to work on the Rax now, force that forward on Skeleton King. He's lost all of his mana, and he is going to go down for certain. Can't get quite as lucky the second time around. Slow Queen going to get caught off here. Gem will provide vision. Disruption will actually save her for a moment, but then set her right up to be taken down by Shadow Fiend. And Nova won this game. I mean, 007 played really well. Nova won the game, though, and he's phenomenal play on the back of the Shadow Fiend, and just tremendous credit to him for doing so. 2 Raxes down. Expect to see a GG called maybe soon. Disruption to try and save himself on Shadow Demon. Nova's able to finish him off, and he has an Aegis still, so he's going to turn around, maybe fight John the Ninja. No, just going to try and TP out of here, and he'll just barely survive. And that's when things are going your way. You survive with a sliver of health every time. And now he has a completed Butterfly as well. Nyx runs in, takes down Queen of Pain. 2 Raxes down, base decimated. Wince comes in, drains the chakra on Richard. 4 staffs to drain even more chakra. It's called Mana Leak. I call it Drain Chakra for some reason. I don't know where I got that from. Chakra Magic. I remember in Dota 1 it used to be the same skill. Same skill it gave mana, could take mana away. A little bit of reminiscing there. But the final frontier, this last Rax is being focused down. Nova has the Aegis, and of course he's not afraid to use it right now. So let them take him down and pop the Aegis. Nyx, meanwhile, in the middle of the fight, going to pop off his armlet, try and get back into things. He's trying to do some work. He actually does die, but a Requiem of Souls takes down 2. And 3 heroes dead now, 4 heroes dead. Queen of Pain's going to respawn in a moment, but GG is called, and that's going to be a wrap to things. Thank you for everyone that's watched throughout the day. Dota 2 Canadian Cup Tournament champions are Wand. We are no Dendi, I believe. And a really well played throughout the day from them, even in the games they lost. They looked pretty solid. They always had a good strategy, and Nova really just took it home to them. Took it home for them in this game and a couple other games on top of that. John the Ninja is going to try and retreat out of here. Nova's going to finish him off. Bada bing, bada boom. And that's a wrap for things today. Thank you for everyone that's watching. And I really appreciate it. If you want to go ahead and follow me on Twitter at NYJohn TV. Follow me on Twitch. It's a little button on your screen. It's not really that difficult. Anything feedback in terms of emails or anything along those lines, really appreciate it. Thank you for everyone. Shout out to Hero, Around Surviving. Shout out to Dota2.ca, your website where you can find this nice community that brought you this tournament. Be sure to sign up there and participate actively in that community. 769 was the final count in gold per minute for Shadow Fiend. And that's going to be a wrap for things today. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Have a good rest to your Sunday.
One, two. Check me out right here, yo.
Sell out in the stores. You tell me who flop, who cop the blue drop, who jewels got blocks, who's mostly dope, she down to the tube top. The same old pimp, Mace, you know ain't nothing changed but my limp. Can't stop till I see my name on the blimp. Guarantee a million sales, call it love or luck. You don't believe in Harlem World, nigga, double up. We don't play around, it's a bet, lay it down. Niggas didn't know me 91, bet they know me now. I'm the young Harlem nigga with the Goldie sound. Can't no PD, niggas hold me down. Cooler, school me to the game, now I know my duty. Stay humble, stay low, blow like Hootie. True pimp, niggas spin on dough on the booty.
I told ya, me and Mike's to me, bruise too much, I lose too much. Step on stage, the girls boo too much. I guess it's 'cause you room with lame dudes too much. Me lose my touch, never that. If I did, ain't no problem to get the gap. Where the true players at? Throw your rollies in the sky, waving side to side. Keep your hands high while I give your girl an eye. Play it please, lyrically, niggas see. B.I.G.B. flossing, jig on the cover of Fortune. 500. Here's my phone number, your man, they got the know. I got the dough, got the flow down, pizzazz. Platinum plus, like Zizak. Dangerous on Trizak, leave your ass Trizak, Trizak.